Hello, everybody, and welcome to December 8th, Thursday night review and testimonials patching podcast. We are here to hear two incredible testimonies from two gentlemen who are just extraordinaries. These men are both doctors, this product personally, and they have quite the story. So I'm Laura Balzer. I am Senior Presidential Director, and I'm joined with my colleague, Dr. Stacy, who as well is a Presidential Director, or excuse me, Senior President. Why do I do that every time we get together? Senior Presidential Director with LifeWave as well. So before we get started, I do want to take time and remind everybody that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Also, consult with your physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on new treatment, product use, diet, fitness, or program. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Stacy, and she's going to get started in interviewing these amazing men.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. So I'm going to start with Dr. Clinchy. So Dr. Clinchy, I would love for you to share with us who introduced you to LifeWave. How long have you been using LifeWave's technology? What was life like before? And what have you experienced since? Because reading your testimonial, I'm excited to hear this from you.
Got it. Let me clarify something first, too, so there's no confusion. I'm a PhD doctor, not an MD doctor, so everybody's aware of that. And I'm a paramedic. I'm actually an artifact in the state of Florida because I'm the oldest paramedic licensed in the state of Florida at the moment that I'm aware of. How did I get into LifeWave? A veteran friend of mine by the name of Frank Kerr knew I had chronic back problems and said, I've got this stuff. And I said, okay, tell me about it. And he did. And I am the consummate skeptic. So I said, all right, Frank, you got my money. Send me the stuff. Let's try it out. And I started on it because I've got very little left between my L4 and L5 vertebrae. I've been doing first responder stuff since the mid-60s, as I told you. And you can talk about lifting mechanics all you want in a classroom, but when it comes to climbing a ladder, carrying crap up into a fire, or lifting orca on the street, the mechanics go away completely and you destroy your back. I don't know anybody that's been in fire or EMS for a number of years that doesn't have back problems. So I put on the patches and I thought, okay, we'll give this a try. 5 to 6 weeks after I started, we had a torrential downpour here at the house. 2 of my chairs that weren't covered in the lanai got soaked. The rain went away and I said, okay, let's take them around and put them out in the sun. And I'm not going to say exactly what I said when I walked back into the house, but I picked up 2 very heavy chairs, walked them around the pool, went back into this house and said, holy something or other, my back doesn't hurt. So that was 5 to 6 weeks in using the X39. Now, and that's fairly typical of people that have gotten involved with the X39 patch. But I think what's more remarkable for me, 7 or 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with benign prostatic hyperplasia. That's a fancy way of saying you've got an oversized prostate gland. And they put me on tamsulosin and finasteride, which are sort of the 2 trademark medications for BPH. And I've used those constantly since then. Every year my PSA levels have gone up. Every year my prostate gets bigger and bigger. And as we discussed earlier, I'm not sure how they determine that by the exam that they do, but nevertheless, the guy keeps telling me it's larger. This year I go in, he does the PSA. I went from a 3.07 in 2021 to a 2.63 in 2022. And my age, my nearest birthday age is 80. So that is below median for an 80-year-old. So it's the first time in about 8 years my PSA has gone down. And then I got the exam and he said, your prostate's smaller. And I thought, well, this is very cool. The only thing I have changed has been the X39. I've been using it since March. So I've got to attribute the change to the X39. Now also, David Schmidt did a presentation a couple of weeks ago where he talked about prostate issues. And he said extra virgin olive oil and curcumin longa. So I now take 150 milligrams of extra virgin olive oil gel caps twice a day, and I take curcumin longa 1,000 milligrams twice a day. So I don't know that there's been any impact from that yet, but I am attributing the change in my prostate and my PSA to the X39 patch. Do you want me to touch on the age reversal thing at all?
Yes, I love that, please.
This was funnier than hell. I did a deployment recently down to Fort Myers with our crisis stress team. We're a small team. We do critical incident stress management for first responders. And I was in one of the base camps, and we did all 8 base camps around Fort Myers, talking to some firefighters. And one of them looks at me, he says, "How old are you anyway?" And I thought, oh, this is great. I can't wait. And I said, "So how old do you think I am?" And the young man says, "You look like you're in your late 50s. I thought, yeah, right. So I took out my driver's license and I said, "Here, read the date of birth on my driver's license." I said, "I'm going to be 80 in 6 months." And the guy said, "No shit." And I said, "Yeah." Anyway, so I guess there is something to the age reversal thing too. But anyway, it's great stuff. I feel great. It's amazing to me.
Wow. Dr. Clinchy, that is absolutely amazing. So first of all, pain, that's huge. We know so many people that are separated pain. Fantastic with your low back. PSA, I love when we can see actual blood work and doctors diagnosis test, right? Different types of tests, measurements. So that is so fantastic. After 7-8 years on the prescribed medication to have your PSA level go down. Congratulations. That is huge.
Well, I think it's very cool. And
no, that is absolutely wonderful. And we are so happy for that for you. That means a lot for your longevity and vitality. And then, of course, it's always great for the, stroke the little ego there on the age reversal as well, too. We all love that. So
I think what's interesting, that's a 15% drop in the PSA in 1 year, which is just astounding because all I've done in the last 7-8 years is see elevated PSAs.
No, that's fantastic. So amazing. I know there are going to be so many women that are on here. I see so many men that are going to be sharing with their family members and letting them know that they found somebody that's had a drop in their PSA, and I know you're going to impact a lot of people. So thank you so much for sharing your testimonial with us. We would love to have you on again sometime in the future. So thank you, Dr. Clinchy. All right, we're going to take it over to Dr. Mario Lopez. Dr. Mario, there you go. Fantastic. Hi. We're so glad you're here tonight.
I'm here in
Mario.
Florida.
Yes, I want you to share with us, how did you find out about the patches? Because I think you have a very unique story there with how you found out about LifeWave. And then, of course, I want you to tell us how long you've been using them and what have you noticed in that time frame?
Well, thank you for bringing me to the show, to the podcast. This is wonderful. I am very excited about LifeWave and all the technology. And anyway, so I'm going to start. I'm going to start with about 4 weeks ago in my office. I'm going to see a patient in a room. And when I walk in the room, I cannot see that this gentleman called, I'm not going to say his name. I don't know if he minds saying his name or not. But anyway, I walk in the room. This is an 86-year-old person and we have been very worried about him over the last year because he was clearly declining. Mentally, physically, he was falling. He wasn't following directions. He was forgetting medications. And as a result of that, he was getting into more complications. Now I walk in the room. I have not seen him for about 7-8 months. And I see a different person. So I asked him, what are you doing? So he told me I lost 25 pounds. I did this, I did that, but most of all, I'm using these patches. So I immediately got interested. He told me the technology, and he said, you know something, I told him I'm going to read on that over the weekend. And he said, well, I'm going to give you 3 patches. You start using 3 patches over the weekend. And if you have any results, you call me. So I have, even if I look reasonably okay, because I practice what I preach, I am a disaster in my musculoskeletal system. Okay, I'm like, so I have a left hip problem, I have a low back problem, I have carpal tunnel, I have cervical problems, plantar fasciitis, anyway. So I said, the place that hurts the most in my body is my left hip. I promise you that the first day I use this patch, not even 10 hours later, the swelling in my hip was 50-60% less. My pain was 80 to 90% better. And I was able to move my left leg better. By the end of the weekend, I said my pain was 90% better. Mobility in the leg was amazing. I was able to go up and down the steps, up and down the stairs. And my back pain was better. So I called Tom on Sunday and I said, Tom, I want to get involved with this. Not only I want to become a distributor, I know that I don't know much about this technology, but I don't care. It's working for me. I want to get involved. So the next day he signed me up. He gave me another 30-day X39 patch sleeve, and I started using it. Then the X39 was improving my lower back, but not enough. So I started using the X49. I don't feel my back any longer. I can sit for as long as I want to. I don't feel my lower back any longer. Wow. I've had problems with my gastrointestinal tract for all my life. I recently started using the carnosine patches. I have used it only twice because I just started this week. And I told Dr. Stacy, Doctor, I feel something different here. There's something good happening here with the carnosine patches. So all I'm saying is I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn from Dr. Stacy, Laura, everybody involved, the technology, the science of the patches, which is what I'm really interested. I don't want to go and tell people, hey guys, this works for me, it's going to work for you. No, I want to tell them and explain to them, this is the reason why it's working. But all I know that to start with, in 4 weeks, I am a complete different person. My energy level is better. I'm sleeping better and not dreaming a whole lot more. I have maybe 10% discomfort here and there, depending on what I'm doing. It has changed my life. All the energy that I was wasting on taking care of the pain now is being redirected to self, comfort, and energy. So I see it every day. I talk to family members, friends, everybody, people that have had pain, chronic pain for years. On the first day, they put the X39 and the pain goes away. I have a 92-year-old cousin who's had back pain forever. In the first day, she calls me the next day. My pain is better, is 60% better. She already called me today and she says, Mario, my pain is practically gone. I'm signing up for this thing. I have a friend of mine from Naples who's had chronic shoulder pain that he couldn't sleep. I saw him at a restaurant one day. So he used the patch from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. He calls me at 6:30 in the morning. So he only used the patch for 7 hours. He says, Mario, I was able to sleep last night on my side, on my bad shoulder. He signed up for a gold package. So it's incredible. And there's more testimonials to see about this. And there's a lot more research to be done. There's a lot of more potentials. This is incredible. Whoever is not a believer, I will make a believer out of these people.
I love it. I love that. So Dr. Mario, I'm getting a couple questions from people because that is just fantastic. Whoever's not a believer, I'm going to make a believer out of you, he says. But they're asking, where did you place the carnosine? They want to know where you placed that you felt the difference in your intestinal tract.
Below my belly button. Below my belly button. That's it.
Fantastic. And 2 days you've had it on.
2 days, each day, I noticed a difference immediately.
In your bowels.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Okay.
It's
Fantastic.
like a smooth, incredible
Nice. Okay.
sensation.
The other thing I want to ask you about, the other night when we had dinner and we were talking about, you said with the two things actually, you said with the X39, you're placing it on your hip, but you were putting that, where were you putting the X49?
In my lower back, in my L5. And they interact with each other, without a doubt. They feed it. You know, I started with the X39 in my hip, and I could feel a lot of times the heat going up to L5. I'm telling you, I have never. This is not in my head. This is not psychological. You know, I am a very objective person as being a physician. I don't believe in magic, but this is magic. But it's calculated magic. This was developed by a scientist. Yeah. And so this is not magic. This is what it is.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And especially, you know, being a cardiologist, you're very familiar and in tune with the entire body, the entire vascular system, everything. So you would have that awareness in your body of something different is happening that you've never experienced before.
You know, all I can tell you is that as a person, whether I'm a cardiologist or not, I have always been very much in tune with my body.
Good. I
know how much I can push my body. My body tells me when I have to slow down, when I need to change, and what I need to do. So I'm very much in tune with myself.
That is good. That is very important. One last question, Dr. Mario. We talked about the ice wave. You were talking about your plantar fasciitis and the bump on the side of your foot and moving that ice wave around. Can you tell us what you were experiencing with that?
Yes, great question. So I have a bump on the side of my right foot that was very painful, and then I have like a big lump in the heel of the right foot. So I started using the X39 on the bump on the lateral side of the right foot, and then I started using the white patch right in the bottom of the foot after the heel ends, and the dark patch. I moved it around in like a clock, and see which side would be the best. So I found that putting the dark patch in the heel and the white one at the end of where the heel ends, that big bump in there, would work the best. But then I said, you know something, this is not getting a whole lot better after maybe a couple of weeks. And I spoke with you, and you told me, change the patches, change the dark to the middle of the foot, and put the white in the heel, and it is working. But I can tell you something, it's taking a little time. Yeah. It's okay. Plantar fasciitis is a tough cookie. I stopped taking steroids for plantar fasciitis because it doesn't do anything. Plantar fasciitis is something that just has to burn itself out and resolve itself. And it's resolving. Right now I'm probably about 60% better, which is huge. Because I was getting out of no. I've been treating my plantar fasciitis for 2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay. And I was getting out of the bed every morning, and with like a big lump in my heel. It was like I had a golf ball in my heel. I don't have that anymore.
Wow. That is huge. 2 weeks and you've already got 60% reduction. And I love what you said too, because everybody wants it gone. They want it all gone right now. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to sift and sort with what's going on in your body.
We are a society of instant satisfaction or instant gratification. Yeah. And a lot of times we need to realize that the X39 may work overnight, but sometimes you need to let things simmer and wait until things heal, because these patches work on our own healing ability. So sometimes we may have to be a little patient. I have told the people that I have given the patches to, if it doesn't work in the next 24, 48 hours, just give it time. Please use it. Get the 3 months. Give me at least a confidence vote and use the patch for 3 months. You tell me in 2 months, 3 months, what the difference is.
Wow.
Absolutely. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Mario, for sharing a huge amount of testimonial in a short period of time. We are so excited. Laura, do you have a question?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple texts. Dr. Mario, I have several people that want to know what type of doctor that you are.
Cardiologist.
Okay. Thank you.
I actually going to the meeting in Sarasota a couple of days ago. I was actually talking to my friend Tom Block, who was the one who introduced me to the patch, and I was saying, Tom, I have been talking to my girlfriend and I have been talking to her about how to improve cardiac function and whether this would be a good way to the X39 could potentially improve cardiac function. So we met a patient a few days ago in Sarasota that said that his heart function was actually better. Well, it's funny because I was just thinking about that in the last couple of weeks, but we need to do more research on that. I would love to try X39 patches on patients with cardiomyopathy. How about the carnosine patches? I would love to try that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can see from our clinical studies about every 6 weeks, the vascular system starts to function about 8 weeks younger. The functionality improves of the vascular system in our clinical studies that David's done. That was one part of the study. But I would be excited to see what you start to develop in your own personal studies from your clients, being able to use these patches, this technology with them as well too. So thank you so much, Dr. Mario. I am so grateful for you being on here tonight and sharing your testimonial. We will definitely have you back on. I want to hear your testimonial at your 3-month mark, like you're saying. Just give me 90 days. I want to see what you have to say at 90 days. So we'll have you back on, okay?
I'm ready anytime. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You are welcome. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, you guys. So I think everybody's like, okay, these are fantastic. You hear so many amazing testimonials, but it's just, these are so fantastic to hear from you two gentlemen and what you've been through in your life. Looking on the outside, look perfectly healthy, right? Everything looks great, but sometimes on the inside, that's not the situation. And so we definitely, have a lot to learn, like Dr. Mario said, and a lot of people to help. And so I want to share with you the science and technology of how this is happening on different parts of the body, some very quickly, and then also some over time. And then, of course, Laura's going to come back in and wrap it up with telling you all how you can get this amazing technology. So this is what the patch looks like that these gentlemen were talking about. This is a non-transdermal patch. Non-transdermal means nothing is transferring into the body. So you're familiar with a transdermal patch, like a pain patch or nicotine or hormone patch. This is not that type of patch. So no chemical, no substance, no supplement is actually transferring into the skin. So then how is this working? Well, do you see that little white part in the center? Embedded in that is a crystal lattice structure. It's a group of organic nanocrystals, proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugars, water, and oxygen. David Schmidt is the inventor of this technology. He is the scientist. He's the researcher, the lab rat. He also owns LifeWave and is the CEO of the company. And he actually has been inventing this type of patch, a non-transdermal patch that uses our body's own heat or light to do the work communicating with this patch for 20 years. He started working with the Navy SEALs in the U.S. Department of Defense 20 years ago. and was asked to contribute to something the SEALs were working on to help with sustainability, endurance, and stamina and energy in the field. And David was given the idea by the divine, downloaded the information to create a non-transdermal patch that triggered beta oxidation, which means turns body fat into fuel. And that was called the Energy Enhancer patch. Some of you may be familiar with. And so that's how David started the company 20 years ago. Fast forward to now, this X39 stem cell activation patch has just been on the market 3 years. It took David 10 years in the lab to figure this out. So here's how this works. Okay, in the morning when you get up, you can put this patch on the back of your neck, CV7, below your belly button, or as you heard from Dr. Mario, any spot will do. He put it on his hip, right? He's put it on the side of his foot. Just put it on your body in the morning, leave it on 12 hours. Of course, stay hydrated, take it off and throw it away. After that, you're going to do it again the next day and the next day. So what's happening when you put this patch on? Well, like I said, our body's heat or light, we emit a low-level infrared light, reflects back a specific wavelength of light from this patch. So embedded in here is the crystal lattice structure. When you put it on, our body's heat communicates with that patch and reflects back a signal, a specific wavelength of light that elevates your own GHKCU copper peptide. We all have GHKCU. David's going to put a fantastic website in our chat so you can check that out with the Dr. Lauren Picard and all the wonderful information that he shares about GHKCU, 50 years of research. And that's where David started in his research as well too with GHK. And so when you put this on, it activates your own GHKCU. It resets a third of your genes back to their young, youthful state. And we know genes express to one or two other genes. So wow, wearing this thing day after day, week after week, month after month has a serious compound effect to help your body reverse the functionality of your cells and tissues and organs, repairing, regenerating, restoring, and rejuvenating the functionality of your body back to its young, youthful state. Increasing, activating, elevating, mobilizing. You hear these keywords? Your own stem cells. We all have stem cells. We have an abundance when we're young, but as we age, less and less are active in the body. By the time in your 30s, there's about half. Do you guys know 30 is middle age? We weren't designed to live past 60, really, honestly. So 30 is middle age. We look at, no, we do not, nobody wants that, but you start to see those signs of aging, right? The crow's feet, the aches and pains, the metabolism slow down, things like that. Well, by the time you're in your 60s, we can see that about 10% of your stem cells are active and mobile and working in the body. This patch, when you apply this daily, this calls your stem cells up and says, hey, let's go to work. Let's get our cells young and youthful again. They're pluripotent, meaning they can turn into any cell, tissue, or organ your body needs, because just like Dr. Mario said, your body has its own innate ability to know how to heal itself. This technology assists you in that by helping your body to have your young, youthful stem cells working around to find whatever's most important in that order. And that's why he says, give this time. It's going to take time to help your body repair and regenerate and rejuvenate. We only have time anyways. Are we going to get older or are we going to get younger? You guys decide. I'm going to get younger as I age, right? And so again, you take it off, you throw it away, you do it again the next day, day after day, week after week, month after month. People always ask, how long do I wear this? And I tell them, you know what? The general rule of thumb is 1 month for every 10 years you are old, or just stop patching whenever you want to start aging again. Right? So with that, Laura, my beautiful co-host, is going to come back on and she is going to tell you how you can get this amazing technology for yourself, for your friends, and your family.
You know, Dr. Stacy, you and I have been using the patches for about 18 months. And every time I get on these things, I get so excited. Like you hear the testimonies and you hear the science and the tech and you're like, God, this is remarkable. So I know we have a lot of guests on here today, but we also have people who have just gotten started using the patches. So what I ask for both groups to do, if you've heard something tonight, if you've already gotten started, you know, Dr. Clinchy or Dr. Mario has mentioned something and you think, you know what, I think I've got a little bit of that going on. That still doesn't mean, as well as our new guest, to get back with the person that invited you here. You know, they invited you because they care. They know you've got things going on and they want you to continually be educated with this technology. So please get back with them. If you're brand new and you want to get started, they are going to be the best person to choose for you the best way, because you have a few options. Retail, Dr. Stacy held up the patch for you, but this is our Start X39 sleeve. And in here comes a full 30-day supply. So whether you purchase this on a retail basis or you opt in for our preferred customer, I can honestly tell you that majority of our clients opt in for one of our wholesale packaging, because it gives them the availability to not only get the patches that they want, like Dr. Mario said. He loves adding some of those supporting patches in there with the powerhouse of X39, which really enables you to get that result sooner than later, like he said. But when you get back to that person, walk them through what you have going on. Let them not only choose the right patches that you should use, but the right pack for you personally. Could be you're buying for your spouse as well, or your entire family. Like most of us in here, we could not keep our mouths shut about this, so we started sharing the patches as well. So again, Dr. Mario, Dr. Clinchy, thank you so much for being here with us today. Absolutely, both of you are remarkable. Dr. Stacy, you're incredible. You do such an amazing job, not only interviewing, but explaining the tech and technology, or the science. Do you have any other things you want to say before we close out?
Thank you, Laura. I love you, girl. So only thing I want to say is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, Laura and Wendy are going to be interviewing 2 new people. So if you liked what you heard tonight, you're going to get to hear 2 totally different testimonials. So invite them, same Zoom number, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and they will share with you 2 new people's testimonials, and of course, share the science and technology. So invite your friends or family or coworkers, best friends, family members, because we all want to live a long life, and we want to live the best quality of life possible. And we want to do that with the people that are around us, that we spend the most time with and we care about. And I know when you get them on these Zooms, they will see and hear and connect and realize this technology really is to help benefit them have the best quality of life and spend as much time with their loved ones. So thank you again to both doctors for being here. Thank you to Laura. I'm so grateful for all of you and all the work that we're doing to make a difference in people's lives. Have a great evening.